L'enfer est sur la terre, enveloppé de misère. Seuls les nègres l'habitent, pas un blanc n'y réside. C'est un endroit obscur, sans un brin de lumière. En cet enfer, la race noire se trouve emprisonnée, méprisée, maltraitée, sans connaître la liberté, sous les yeux de leur Dieu.
My very dear brother, Walter Riley, and Walter was in Haiti, and Barbara Riley, his wife, and they'll be saying a few words to us because they were in Haiti, representing the Bay Area. He'll tell you his story, but that's a dear friend, and he saved many lives. He was there helping the people, so he'll give you the test what he saw. Thank you, Walter. Please let's welcome Walter.
I don't have a long story to tell. I think maybe you've heard some of it, and you can imagine from watching television what I saw. But I will repeat some things I've said before. I was there because I'm with the Haiti Emergency Relief Fund, and as an attorney I was there to document some of the abuses that people in Haiti had suffered before. So I met with people at Mario Joseph's office that documented the abuse at the hands of the UN forces. I met with some young people in City Soleil that had been shot by the police, by the police and by UN forces. 13-year-olds crossing the street and shot for no reason. Some of that's to be followed up and has been worked on before. I met with people that some of you may have seen in Kevin Peña's film, We Must Kill the Bandits. I met with the woman who was in the film who was pregnant and shot, and I witnessed the outrage that she has face to face that we kept seeing in the film. I witnessed the sense of wrong that people were able to display when you talk to them up close, when you can touch them, when they have been mistreated and abused. And I witnessed the feeling that people have for the Cathedral government and its inability to serve, its inability to meet the needs of the people, the lack of government services. All of that existed before the earthquake. On the day of the earthquake, I had been with Barbara Selena, and I had been to, first thing in the morning, a press conference organized by members of Lava Loss, a commission that is dealing with the election and the exclusion of Lava Loss from the elections that were planned in February. And they are preparing, at that time, they were preparing to roll out a campaign of mass mobilization from Lava Loss that would include street actions. President Aristide had already been on the air a number of times talking about the need for the full participation of the people. And Lava Loss was mobilizing meetings. I met with, we met with members of a People's Congress. We met with people who were who have meetings weekly at the public square and discuss the legislative process. At this Congress, they were discussing the elections and the plans for the elections. And I met with some people afterwards, and one of the things that was important is that we asked each of the people that were there representing certain members of the legislature how they got to be there. And every one of those people went through a process from their regions, from the Northwest, from the Northeast, from Petronville, from various parts of other parts of Port-au-Prince, from various sectors of the country. And they went through an election process that is the same as we go through our election processes, where they talked with members of community groups, grassroots, churches, organizations of students, and thousands of people involved in the process, very much like general election, and they were elected to go to this People's Congress, which is a shadow Congress. They had more support than the people who were sitting in the Congress itself. And so they were there in a group, maybe the size of this group here, where they talked about their political positions, mimicking the positions of people in the legislature. But the amazing thing is that this is a demonstration of how much support Lavalas has, how much participation people in the country have. I mean, this is a process of to some extent, theater, political movement, political organization, political demonstration. And it had taken place in every section of the country where people participated, knowing that they were not going to go make laws, but that they were going to represent political theater. They were going to represent political protest. And I was amazed at that, the amount of participation in a place where people don't have a government that represents them. They're still fighting for that. We had also met with Rhea's school and had been at her school that day. Rhea's school right now is a medical clinic, and somebody from sort of our family, a friend, very close friend, is on her way, a doctor who just graduated medical school from Chicago, is on her way tomorrow on a plane to go with Kevin Pena to Port-au-Prince, and Friday afternoon she will be in Port-au-Prince, going up to the foundation, and from there up to Petronville to work with the clinic. The foundation, by the way, it found out is less than 2 miles from the airport, the Aristide Foundation, where there are 53 doctors. Perhaps you talked about that earlier. The Aristide Foundation is less than 2 miles from the airport. There are 53 doctors there, and there are thousands of people in need of medical care. People with all kinds of injuries that we see that would exist from the kind of horrible earthquake that occurred. And they're not getting medical supplies. They can't go to the airport and pick up medical supplies. Medical supplies are not being delivered to them. They don't have fresh water. You know, a person that is not accustomed to marching could carry a bag of medical supplies. 1,000 people could carry 1,000 bags of medical supplies. There are 9,000 UN troops in Haiti. There are hundreds or thousands of US soldiers at that airport, but not one of them has put a backpack on with medical supplies, bandages, antibiotics, and marched up to this place.
Why?
Political.
Why are they saying?
Well, that's the question that we all have to ask. Why? And why do we allow it? Why do we allow it to happen? What can we do to stop it? What must we change in our government, in our own society, that would allow that to happen? Those are American troops right there on that tarmac. Tax money that's keeping medical supplies, not just from this place, from other places. The Reyes Clinic up in Petronville, there's an open road that leads up there. People are in the square with no water. I was on the radio with Rhea and Pierre yesterday morning, and she was scrounging for water and food for people in the square. They have seen no help. We've seen those images.